Mr. Transformers 96 here. So in the video, I'm going to be doing a review on a new Marvel Legends figure being a Build-A-Figure wave, and this is Hulk from the Endgame wave. So overall, I know this wave came out a bit ago. However, I actually wasn't planning on completing this wave at all or building the Build-A-Figure. There was two figures that I wanted in the wave, and that was it. And the Build-A-Figure didn't impress me much. I only ended up building the Build-A-Figure when I found the majority of the wave on a pretty good discount one day on Amazon. So I purchased 3 more of the figures and then just bought a couple of the Build-A-Figures on eBay separately. So that's when I completed the Build-A-Figure itself. And I have to say, I'm impressed with the Build-A-Figure. This is one of those situations where the Build-A-Figure didn't look too hot, but getting it in person, I'm actually pretty impressed with it. And I have to say, it is like, it didn't just exceed my expectations, it like kind of far exceeded my expectations. So maybe it's because my expectations were so low to begin with, but getting it, I really like this figure. As you can see, I do have the accessory there that is not a part of this wave. This is a part of the next Endgame wave, which is the Thor Build-A-Figure wave. It comes with the Mark 85 Iron Man. It's the Infinity Gauntlet that Hulk wields. So I do have that here, and I'll kind of go into that. But let's get into the figure here. Starting off with the face sculpt, you get two. I thought in the preview images that the smirking face sculpt looked dumb. I didn't think that it looked very good. Getting it in person, though, I actually like it a lot. And even on camera here, I think it looks good. So I'm not quite sure if my taste just changed or just seeing it in person and kind of getting some better angles. I appreciated it more, but I think it looks really solid. I think it very much represents Mark Ruffalo's likeness as the Hulk in Infinity, or in Endgame, with having more, higher intelligence. And I like the smirk. It's fun. It's something that we don't get with Hulk figures a lot, because either we get just the kind of standard expression or we get the angry face, but we never get a smirk. And even though, like, back in the first movie that we saw Hulk, like with the Avengers, the smirk face when he kind of looked back was something that was pretty iconic. So it's nice to get something that like very much is like that. So overall, love the face sculpt. I think it's really solid. His eyes are painted really nicely, and from like, I'd say, 80% of the angles, it looks really spot on, in my opinion, personally. I think the hair is also really nicely sculpted and has some good paint in it. It has a bit of a whitish wash into it to kind of show his age a bit more, which I think looks nice. As far as we go down to the body here, I think it looks great. I think that they've sculpted the muscle system really nicely. I love the paint. The paint is very natural looking. They use like this light... It's almost, I don't know, like it has different tones to it. In some areas, or in some lights, it looks quite like a brighter kind of olive green, but in some lights it looks like a dark olive green, so there's an interesting variation on the shading there. But you have the texture of his skin throughout the entire thing. You can see all the pores there and everything. Really impressive. I think this is the first Hulk figure that has this from Marvel Legends. I could be wrong, I haven't compared, I probably should have. Yeah, like, you have the texture of the body throughout the entire thing. None of it's just smooth, which I think is great. He's got like his chest hair here, which is all painted, but I think that it does look quite good, pretty natural. Nothing too overly done or cheesy. Then the pants have just as much texture, if not more. The rips and everything look great at the bottom, and it's all painted really nicely, as you can see. Like, there's not a ton of paint bleed, and there's so much small detail, and the colors are so different that it should look like a mess down there, to be honest. And it looks like a mess, but it looks like the mess that it's intended to look like, with the fact that it's just all ripped. Feet look good. Overall, a really nice sculpt, I must say. I'll talk about the gauntlet here, and then I'll switch out the head and the accessory. But here's the gauntlet. Again, even if you buy this entire wave, you're not going to get this gauntlet. This comes with the Thor wave, and it comes with the Mark 85 Iron Man figure. But the gauntlet itself, I actually think looks quite nice. As you can see, a lot of detailing there. The stones are the only thing that I find a little lackluster. They look a little cheesy. It would be nice if they had more of a clear look to them. Well, actually, what's nice is the top ones here have a metallic look, but the yellow one does not. It's just a flat yellow. Wish that the yellow had a bit of a metallic look, and it would be nice if they had the cut, like sharp pieces in there to make them actually look like stones and not just round, pearls or something. So that would have been nice. Overall, though, looks quite nice. and it does also feature articulation. The glove is not like one piece. It's a fist, and then it's the piece that wraps around the arm. So when you remove it, you just remove the fist separate from this piece. So, and it fits very nicely. I think that he looks really nice with it on too. And it also just, like we've had quite a few Hulk figures now, even just movie Hulk figures. We've had quite a few. So to get something that really changes it up, I think is quite important. So I think that looks really nice. Let's get him with the alternative accessories. Alright, so here he is without the gauntlet on, and with the secondary head sculpt being just kind of a monotoned, very standard expression. This head sculpt I don't think is quite great. I think it's okay, but I don't think it's anywhere near the quality of the smirking one, which is very interesting because, they should be the same type of sculpt. It's just, some of the wrinkles that are different. But it doesn't, you can see the likeness to Mark Ruffalo in some angles, but not as many angles as the other one, in my opinion. I think that there's a little less of the likeness there. It's not bad by any means, but it's not great, to be honest. And it almost lacks some of the texture. Like, I think it's just because there's more lines because he's smirking, but it looks like there's more detail in the other one. So that's, nice for the other one at least. I think that this is just a really bland expression too. This Hulk is intelligent, and this expression does not give me intelligence at all. This could be Hulk from any of the movies, I don't really see any sort of intelligence. I think a much better head sculpt, even if it was this expression, would be to give him the glasses. I think the glasses are really necessary. That's something that I think is one of the biggest trademarks of this version of Hulk. So to not get the glasses is a shame, I would say. And then, as you can see, the other hand is just a regular fist. It's nothing too special. Yeah, overall, though, looking good. Let's get him back in the much better kind of situation, in my opinion. There you go, that's much better. Alright, let's go over some the articulation here. You have a ball-jointed head. It's on a ball joint in two places. Goes up and down slightly, side to side, and it even tilts like the slightest bit. Decent articulation, no hinge though, so he can't look up and down like super far, but he can go, an okay amount. Ball hinge shoulders with the bicep swivel, double hinge elbows, and one thing that's really nice is that the hinge works really well. You can get a nice strong bend on there. The top part of the hinge moves about this far, and then the bottom part moves about that far. So that's a huge curl for somebody that's this strong, and it doesn't look bad when it's extended either. So that's very nicely designed, I must say. And it's all pretty hard plastic. Some of the other Marvel Legends Hulk figures from the movies have had weaker, softer joints, and it makes his arms like curve in a weird spot. This does not have that, which is great. He has a ball hinge wrist. He's got a ball joint upper torso, which has a great range. As you can see, it can go back and forth quite nicely. Can go forward and back quite well as too, which is great. He's got a swivel at the waist, ball jointed hips, which go out or up about this far and go out pretty far. Swivel at the thighs, double hinge knees, and then hinge pivoting ankles. Overall, standard articulation, but it's quite good on him, especially the elbows. The elbows have a great range, better than your average Hulk figure, which is nice. So overall, my closing thoughts on this figure. Oh, he's bigger than your average Hulk figure, too. He is taller than, I think, any of the other movie Marvel Legends Hulks, which is great. It makes him just more in scale, so I am quite happy about that. As far as what I think of this Build-A-Figure in general, talking about the version of the character that they went with. Obviously, Hulk has kind of three different looks in the movie. He wears kind of like just actual civilian clothing, like he's got like a hoodie on for the beginning portion of the movie. In the middle, when he time travels and he's back in the events of 2012, he looks like this. This is the version that they went with. Shirt off to kind of blend in and look a little bit more like the Hulk that was, going around in 2012. And then lastly, it's his kind of Professor Hulk jumpsuit that he's wearing for the entire end battle, and also while he's using the Infinity Gauntlet. I think that out of all three of those looks, they picked the worst one, in my opinion. I think that the best one would have been the very end battle, wearing the jumpsuit. I think that would have by far been the best one to go with. However, the hoodie one, I think, is in his funniest scenes, and is definitely, and it's also the one that he wears for the majority of the movie. I think that he has the most screen time in the hoodie. So for me personally, they went with the absolute worst one. This is really the only thing that he's wearing. Like, the only thing that he does while wearing this look, or while having this look, is that he talks with the Ancient One. And there's not even an Ancient One figure, so it's not even like we can recreate that scene or anything like that. So therefore, I think that they absolutely picked the worst outfit that they could have, especially since this is the outfit, or this is the look for Hulk, that we have with every other figure. So there's, for for every category that there is, like for what he does in the movie, for how long he wears it, for what other, or for being unique. They just didn't hit any of those marks with this look. It's the most generic one they could have went with, and it's definitely a shame because I think either of the other two would have been great, especially if they did the end of the battle one, because that's his real new look for the new movie. So it's a shame we didn't get that. I am also extremely disappointed that we didn't get glasses for him, especially since the other sculpt is so plain. Just throwing on some glasses would have really helped it, I think. So overall, that's my thoughts on this figure. It's a great figure in my opinion. I think it's the best Marvel Legends movie Hulk that we have yet. It certainly is. However, again, it's like the War Machine in this wave. It's a great figure, but it's not accurate. This one is accurate, but it's accurate to the thing that we don't really want, and that's a shame. I will say that if you have this Hulk Build-A-Figure, I'd absolutely recommend getting the Mark 85 Iron Man to get the gauntlet. If you don't want the Iron Man figure at all, then don't buy it. Don't waste your money. However, if you are interested in that Iron Man figure, this accessory is a great bonus to this Build-A-Figure. So I'd recommend getting that extra accessory because it really does help him out and makes him more unique, which is great. So yeah, overall, that's my thoughts on this new Build-A-Figure Hulk from the Endgame series. Let me know what you guys think of it, and thanks so much for watching.